So good morning, everybody. Again, Vincent Meza, Listings to Leads. It's Monday, and it's time to talk about what tools to use to get more listings. And I want to point out that you can use a lot of these tools whether you have listings or whether you don't have listings. So I'll kind of make it clear what what sort of works for either of you. So one of the first things that I like to get into is one of our most important tools. It's called a nearby homeowner letter. Now, I want to ask, because I see a lot of new names in this in the call here. Would you mind, while I'm kind of getting us over there, letting me know how long you've been with us? And I know you want more listings, but let's just talk about it. I'm going to kind of give you a couple of concepts here. A lot of our clients have learned that if they market their listings with our system, they're going to get more listings. So a lot of the tools I'm going to show you are actually on the listings page. Now, when I go to the listings page, there is a button here that says add a listing. So remember I said you could use a lot of tools even if you don't have your own listing. And so if you're able to borrow a listing, let's just say you have no listings, I would tell you the strongest tool is actually going to be created when you borrow a listing. So you could use grab active listing here and it'll drop it right here. Now, I've got an open house, and often a lot of realtors will sit on an open house for another agent, right? And so in this case, obviously you can run an ad, but an ad for a home will be for an open house is going to be designed to get buyers. But at the same time, even though this is an open house, the nearby homeowner letter is designed to get sellers. So let's download that and look at this. We're starting here because this is the #1 tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay, and I'm going to kind of describe all this to you. But this is a very simple one-page letter. Okay, and it says in this case we got an open house on Friday, and when it's sold, that's going to affect your home value. So one link here will take you to a place where you can become a buyer lead, but this link will take you to a place where you can become a seller lead. And the thing is you got to remember, this is a physical piece of paper. So in order for somebody, to get their own home value, they've got to take this piece of paper in their home to their own computer, type in that really fancy web address right there, then type in their address here, and then their email address. So that's a kind of a lot of hurdles, right, for somebody to jump through. And so you'll find that you're not going to get like 50 or 100 leads like Facebook ad. You're going to get maybe 5 or 10. But a lot of our clients have told us that every time they mail out 100 or 200 of these, they get to pick up 1 or 2 listings. So that does make this our #1 tool for getting listings. So let's go into the Mastermind Group. And I asked a question earlier, like how long you've been here. And some people are saying almost a year, some people 4 to 5 years since last fall, last summer. Lori is over 5 years. Liza's 15 years. I don't think we've been alive 15 years. And then Christina's brand new, so welcome. So thanks for that, guys. So this is our Mastermind Group since we started. Okay, yeah, that's about 12 years now. So we're getting there. Man, it's funny how time flies. But so I'm bringing you to the Mastermind Group. If you're a new client, use our support team to get in there. It's a really helpful place. It's a private group. You can't find it on Facebook unless you're in it. So get in there and have support help you. But once you are there, I'm going to want you to kind of look at a few names. Let's look here. Alicia Plus. Now, Alicia is a realtor. I can't remember what part of the country she's in, but she was finding that every time she sent this out, she gets another listing. And she comes in here quite a lot to share like what her cost was, what kind of envelope she's using, because something that looks custom gets opened. Something that looks like junk mail gets thrown away. And you'll hear her say like, yeah, I think she even said like somewhere in the summer, yeah, she's got the third house in 6 months in the same subdivision. There were only 50 homes in that subdivision. So that letter has been working for her like gangbusters. So it's definitely, I would read what she has to say. She shares a lot about how she's using it. Dustin Fox is an agent. When I signed his office, we do have discounted plans for offices. Dustin was a rookie agent, right? Dustin, when I signed their office, he had been an agent for 2 years, doing $5 million a year. Now, well, 2 years later, he was doing $20 million a year, and he said that 80% of his business comes from our tools. And this is one of his favorite tools. It's the nearby homeowner letter. So he took that letter that I downloaded. He stuffed it in some envelopes, and he puts in a little one-page calendar of him and his wife, and mails it first class. Okay, so he wanted to make sure people open it, right? So first class mailing, he figured, was going to help that out. Well, one thing that Dustin did do as well later on, he came back in the comments and he said, hey, I'm now paying people to handwrite these envelopes because it's paying off, right? When he came in the Mastermind Group, the first thing he said was his highest ROI is mailing this first class to 250 homes, charging him $625, but he got 10 listings at an average commission of $17,000. So that was a great ROI, and that's what he came to the group to say. So it's worth reading the comments. You're going to learn a lot about this, and because it is the most important tool for getting more listings, I do think you want to learn how to use it. And people like Dustin and Alicia and this guy right here, Chris Winstead, they share a lot about that particular tool. This guy here is saying, I got 5 listings in 3 months. This is from an agent who just moved into San Antonio, Texas. He had no name recognition, right? He just knew real estate. He joined a new office, bought a new home with his wife and kids, and needed to get some stuff going. So he borrowed listings and used that same letter. Now the guy is starting his own office, and I would look at this post here. He's starting his own office and training on our system to recruit. And he's talking right here on this video about some of the ways he tweaks our system to get even better results. So both of these videos are really worthwhile. If you want more listings, it's worthwhile to understand. So I see some questions here. Can we embed a flyer with another QR code in the flyer? Yeah, you can edit the flyer, Linda. So there are 3 flyers here, and somebody asked, where can the letter be found? Right, so let's kind of go back. We go to listings, and as I said earlier, you can borrow a listing and we're still going to automatically create this letter, okay? But if it's your listing, we're going to create it. And you can then say, hey, you know what? I'm going to update my property to pending or sold, and then we're going to update the letter again. A lot of our clients actually use this letter twice per listing. Once just listed and maybe once open house, or just listed and sold, or open house and sold. So once you go to market listing at any status on any home, it's called the nearby homeowner letter right here. And you can see there are 3 versions. You'll also notice where I downloaded down here, there's a pencil next to it. And pencil in our platform means that is a way to edit it. So there is a QR code. If we look at it, this one is texting because I have the text service here. But you can also, you know, if you want to edit this before you print it, certainly you can, right? So that's the #1 tool, right? The #2 tool actually looks a lot like it. It's an e-flyer, okay? And this e-flyer for your database is basically the electronic version, right? Hey, I've got an open house this week, right? Click that picture, click that link, and go become a buyer lead for me. And when that home is sold, that's going to affect your home value. So go there to get your free home value. We really recommend, this is if for you that have like a CRM or a database of people, this is a helpful tool, right? If you've got hundreds or thousands of people sitting in a CRM getting a drip campaign, this is going to reactivate some of those people. So definitely, we really recommend you try to use this at least once a week or every other week. Let's see here. How about examples in 2021? Well, actually, Lisa, Chris, that video that you just saw, I referenced, Chris has been pulling deals all year long, like every month he's pulling listings. And that video is about 2 weeks old, so it's pretty current. Options when you don't have the listings. Well, that is, this option that I'm showing you is from a borrowed listing, right? So you can certainly do that, right? But those are the tools on the listing side. Okay, now you could use the postcards if you want. Obviously, there's a print charge associated with that. On the front, it says, hey, we got an open house or just listed. But on the back, it says it's going to affect your home value, and we're going to drive people right back to that same home valuation landing page. So those are the tools on the listing side that sort of get things going. There's another one here, and it's called the seller social media, but this one you can only use if you're the listing agent, right? Because you actually have the agent, the homeowner's information, right? And in this case, it says, hey, we're having an open house on Friday, and you at your office is doing a lot of marketing, expect a great turnout. Please share this, right? Or leave a comment. So this post is we email it to you automatically, and you should forward it to your homeowner, call them for 5 seconds, say, I just sent you something. Would you copy it and put it on your Facebook wall, right? Now, this tool, if somebody clicks on it, it's got all kinds of lead capture on it, right? This is an open house single property website. But as you scroll down, you're going to notice that we have multiple call to actions for getting your home value. One up here on the left about schedule a tour, one right here on the page. And then as you scroll down, there's a massive footer of, again, what is your home worth? And we do this because we know what you know, which is when somebody wants to sell a home today in the United States, they just don't want to start talking to realtors. They want to do some research, and they do a lot of that research by looking online at what's for sale. And if they're looking at your properties and you're using our tools, we know that there are buyers out there that are actually homeowners. And so a lot of our call to actions on this, even though this home is for sale, is right here. And even when it says follow this home, the question is going to ask, do you own a home? If somebody says yes, do you need to sell it, right? So we definitely get those kinds of responses in our lead capture, even when it's a home that's early stage looking for buyers. So the seller's tool is actually really cool, but there's also, it's not just that it captures leads. This also sort of warms up the market, because remember, you're asking people, clients, to put that on their wall, right? To put that on their wall. And what that does is it shares with all their friends and family that you are their realtor, right? And so it's a little more akin to referrals. We've been doing this for 12 years and we've succeeded because we know how to get leads. But I can tell you, our clients really prefer referrals over than leads. So if you're using these tools on the seller social media, they're putting it up, right? So this is what happens when a home is sold. It says, our home is sold and we want to recommend Vincent Meza at LDO Realty for doing an excellent job. But notice that the post now has my phone number and email auto embedded in the thing. So when a client shares that, they're saying, hey, I'm awesome, and there's my contact info in front of all their friends and family and colleagues on Facebook. So from Madeira, hi, since there are too many Alicia, it's okay. Hi, Alicia. Yeah, so that's, a great tool. And the cool thing about this home is sold, right? So if somebody clicks on this, like one of the friends or family or colleagues of your clients, well, now when a home is sold, the call to action is totally about get your free home value, right? And so we definitely, you want to market things when they're sold, and definitely use the letter for the email, right? Use the tool for the seller social media, because this is not a paid ad. If you've ever run an ad on Facebook, you know that they expire. And when they expire, they disappear. But this thing here, it just stays there forever. And I mentioned Alicia Pless, right, in the Mastermind Group. I remember Alicia coming in one like, it was like a Sunday morning or something in the Mastermind Group, saying, hey guys, I'm not running any ads, I don't have any letters out, but I'm still getting listing leads. How can that be? And I asked her, I said, are you using this? Are you giving this to your clients? Are they putting it out there? She's like, yeah. And I said, well, one of your client's friends, woke up and decided to go in Facebook and check things out. And now they've seen this, they filled it out, and now they're a listing lead for you. So you don't get a lot of leads with this, but these are pretty high quality because they're coming from the sphere of influence of your current clients. So it really helps out. So that's the listing side of things. If we go over to the ad section, now you may not know this, but you can run ads into Facebook from this page. And one of the first things that you would want to do if you want listing is to run sold ads, right? Sold ads are pretty good. They can work really well in some areas. They don't work as well in other parts of the country. But I think that has a lot to do with the competition. Do you have a lot of competition or not? And also, this is a standard ad. If you don't update this by clicking advanced options, you might be, doing yourself a disservice. And here's why. Listings are hard to get in the market. No matter where you are in the country, it's horrible, right? I know this. I talk to people all day. And so it's hard to get listings. And what's going on is, even if you get a listing, it's sold in like a week, right? Or even less. And so you want to write those things down in Facebook. You want to let people know, what's going on with when you're selling a home, right? And normally, you could say, I got 8 offers or whatever the thing is. And this is these types of words that I'm typing now, it's an incentive for them to get an answer from you, because people run home value ads all the time. I think they still do. It's not very effective, but it is something that people like to do because we knew for years it was great. But it's not as effective as running like a sold property. And when you tell somebody you can sell a babasking or you can do it quickly, people want to, find out how, right? And that's why an ad, just customizing your content a little bit better, to your listing really can help. So sold ads are helpful, but probably another thing to do, especially if you don't have your own listings, is to create a PDF guide ad. So when you click here, you'll notice you can click on seller PDF guides. There are 25 reports designed for homeowners, and you can decide whichever one you want. I've got one here for curb appeal. And when you run this ad, you do have to kind of type in, the location, right? And so I'm going to say I'm in Lafayette, and you can expand it 30 miles, whatever you want. We put a $50 ad. Okay, it's a $50 ad for 7 days, and you can just click publish, and that will usually work. People will, and I recommend that you're running ads like this at least once a week, honestly, because it's valuable information. People can download the report automatically, and you are on every page of every report, okay? And in this case, you're talking about, information for homeowners. So people are going to understand that you know what's going on regarding people selling their home, and that's really where you want to be, I think. So definitely running these for, on a weekly basis, and running sold ads is a great way to do things. Now, there's also this one, which I kind of mentioned it before, which is a home value ad. And I think this is pretty played out, okay? If you've been in real estate a while, you kind of know this ad, and you probably know that agents have been running these ads all over the US for years. And also, like in those years, Facebook has gotten itself into some trouble. And so they've had to change the targeting that you used to be able to do that you can no longer do now. And for those two reasons, the lack of targeting and the fact that this has been sort of tried for so long, this kind of ad is not the best way of getting listing leads. It will get listing leads. They're usually not the highest quality. We started the call with the highest quality and I sort of moved down, right? Yes, Liza, you do get notified when somebody is responding, when you're catching a lead. So when they're downloading, you'll know it. But one thing I do want to point out is it's a $50 ad, and on average, a seller lead costs about $5.75 from Facebook. Okay, so you can imagine if each lead is $5.75, you're probably getting about 9 leads here. So if you get, if you get good at it, like running the ad, and you feel like you're getting good with like getting the conversation started and converting, you might want to increase your budget here so that you're getting more leads. But this is $50 and that's kind of funny. And so, but again, this kind of ad, I probably recommend running once a month. But because of the lead quality, it's not really the best way to do it, right? It's the number one way of getting leads is this letter, right? And the other tools that I showed you, those are great. The PDF guides are great, and the sold ads are great. The home value, what is your home worth at? It's closer to the bottom of my list of top things to do. So do you have any questions about what we talked about here? Because this is, that's kind of it. I went pretty quickly. Happy to answer any questions, but I don't see any. Do we need to go over anything here? Are there questions about other topics? Hello, Janice. Sold ads are good, and you can borrow listings and do a sold ad too, right? So and I definitely recommend that when you're borrowing a listing, if you want to borrow a listing, make sure you do it in an area where you want more letters, right? Where you want more listings of your own. So somebody's asking, Janice asking, can the PDF guides be emailed? Right here on the left are the PDF guides, and you can download them right here, right? And when you download it, you're going to see that you're on every ad or on every page. But yeah, you can do that. So can you set up seller to go to their emails automatically, right? I don't quite know what that one means, Sean. You're welcome, Lori. This recording will be in the Mastermind group. And Sean, if you go to your profile, that's where CRM integration is. So I'm going to click bottom left. I'm actually trying to get the API from Chime. One of our clients wants us to map it in here, but right now I think you got to use Zapier to make the jump. But hopefully I can get that this week, and we can get that sorted out in a week. He means the follow-ups. Okay, Sean. Okay. Oh yeah. So the question about follow-ups, there is a follow-up system down here, some for seller and some for buyers, and yeah, those go out automatically. And we even incorporate our PDF reports in that. So whether it's buyer or seller, that's going to work for you. When you get responses to just listed as, what determines whether they are categorized or as seller or buyer? Well, if it's just listed, our core call to actions are for buyers, right? When you flip the property, let me click on the listings. When you flip on a property from like just listed to under contract, and you would do that right here where this says like, active or under contract. When you make this change, as you get into under contract and pending or sold, the property, then the call to actions are asking for the home values, right? Janice uses KV Core. I think, Janice, we do have a KV Core API right there, right? So you got a forwarding email from there. Right now, Alex, you could take our tools and run ads to Google Ads, but we're actually about to launch that. I think that's going to be available. Adwords will be embedded in our system, by the end of April latest. I think we're going to have it here in March. Oh yeah. Janice, are you talking about the social content? So this is off topic, but we do have a new social page. And this is really great if you want to have your social media look a little more robust, right? You can choose all these topics or whatever ones you want. And some are outdoor living, some are motivational and holiday stuff. You choose the topics and you tell us the frequency and we start auto posting to your social media stuff. So this is not about listings, it's just about real estate related stuff. I'm trying to join Revolve CRM. Is that one supported by you? I think if you, we don't have the APIs for every CRM, right? But most CRMs have what's called a lead forwarding email. And it might be like, Samson at Revolve, right? And you put that email, and anytime you send a lead there, they're going to scrape it and drop it in your CRM automatically. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. And so with the one that you're mentioning, Revolve, that's probably going to be your option. If they don't have lead forwarding email and they don't have an API, you're probably dealing with a really old school, not up to date CRM. So what is the KV Core? KV Core is a CRM. Still in beta. Are you talking about follow-ups? Follow-ups, it is kind of in beta. It is active, so you can go turn it on. You can get on the list and then just email support. Usually if you turn it on, and you sign up for the beta, we'll approve it in like a day. It's just there's a lot of, you can imagine there's a lot of movement and touching points on that one in the background. So we haven't launched it fully for everybody. If you sign up for the beta though, and you say, hey, please turn that on and support, they'll get it turned on for you. Let's see, what else do we have? What is the KV Core? Yeah, okay, got that. I think, yeah, what else is coming? Yeah, the Google AdWords is the next thing we're about to push. How do you sign up for beta on this, on follow-ups? When you come to the follow-ups page for the first time, it'll say join the beta list. I've already joined, and then they like click me on so you can see exactly what follow-ups looks like. So I would just go and just join the list. I think it just says join the list, and then hopefully they'll refresh it and get you in there like a day. So can we add client list in L2L because you aren't a CRM, but I see contact? Yeah. So Sean, that's a good question. Right here, you can create a contact list, and which means you can upload, create a filter contact. Yeah, I think you can. Oh, hold on. Yeah. You see here, it's like contact lists. I don't know. I kind of think you can, but you might want to ask support on this, right? Create a contact based on the following criteria. No, I can't tell if you can. I thought you could. You can you can do create a contact list in the ad section, but that's for Facebook ads and retargeting. I don't know if you can do it here. And frankly, I hope we don't, because that's going to get us looking like a spammer if all these agents are loading it, but who knows? We might have it in the schedule of our text schedule. Will LDL be able to do auto response for Facebook ad leads? I think it does get an auto response, but you're going to, I mean, if you turn on these follow-up campaigns here, these are going to be auto response to every lead you get. So I would turn this on if you want that, right? So anytime you capture a lead from any system, it's going to be a buyer lead or a seller lead. And as you see, I have seller campaign and buyer campaign sitting right here. You just turn them on. So I hope that makes sense there. Anything else? Let's see. I think that's kind of it. Oh, I didn't mention, but on the PDF guides, I know some of you work in kind of Spanish speaking areas. You can translate this stuff to Spanish. And so when you run an ad, the ad's written in Spanish as well. But obviously, you know, we default everything to English, and most of the markets here in the US are English speaking. So, you know, just works like that. You can also, and I didn't mention it when you're doing PDF guides, you can change the color, right? Now, this is tying to my global settings, but you can turn on, you can change the color scheme. So if you don't like that blue, you know, you can change the colors of that. And okay, I'm sorry, will you please go over what the follow-up will do and help us? Yeah, so follow-up, it's kind of like drip campaigns. That's what they are. There's a buyer campaign and there's a seller campaign. And if you click in it, you're going to be able to read through it. And you're going to see that there are very simple follow-ups, right, that we put in. But another thing that we do is we incorporate our PDF reports. So, you know, you've seen the PDF reports because I was showing you how to run ads with them. But we're basically giving those away in the CRM to get more interaction, right? And that's what the follow-ups are. So you can go through, you can edit them if you want, but they work just great, just the way it is. Can we place the tag info for the bot on an ad or to go to our CRM? That one I don't know, Leia. Yeah, I would ask support on that one. That one I think you can, but honestly, I don't know where you can. I would ask support, like if you can put a tag. What CRM are you using, Leia? Because I know that some have different kinds of tags, but the tag that we definitely use is buyer and seller. But you may want more. I do think you can add them, but I just don't know where. So I think support can help you with that one. KV Core, yeah. You know what? I'm not sure. I just am not sure. I know that the KV Core API is there, so that's going to work for you. But how you get the tag in there is, yeah, I just don't even know that one. Sorry. Well, guys, that's kind of the story. Those are the tools to get more listings. And will LDL work for lease listings? Yeah. So when you get your listings in, let me just show you here. When you do this drop down, I think right here for lease or leased or lease to own is an option, right? If I change this to for lease right now, it's going to trigger my auto posting, so that will be a problem. I don't want. That's why I'm not changing it. That's how you do it. You do it right there. Okay. One question. What's your question, Sean? What was Alicia and Dustin's last name? Fox. Fox. Yeah, Dustin Fox. Look for, and Dustin is Dustin. Why is that? I have to do it. I don't know, Sean. Doesn't always update. We get your listings from a partner called ListHub. And sometimes it works. This is Demi. Oh, okay. Okay, got it. And Christine, are you able to stop auto posting? Yes, you can. So auto posting is really set up in your profile up here. And as you can see, there's an on-off switch for all that. So you could do that. Does that make sense? That's where you turn that off. So we have CRM integration, billing, and auto posting. Yeah, that's all right here. Anything else? Oh, I got that. What's the answer you were looking for, Christina? Let's see what's the question. Am I able to stop auto posting? Oh, yes. Okay. Can I add the mastermind group? Yes. Yeah. Just go into the support page there and tell them you want to be added. So you all have a support page at the bottom left, and tell them you want to be added to the mastermind group. Is there additional cost of that? Of what, Charlene? Additional cost of what? My recent sold listings are not showing up in your system. Yeah, we can't see sold listings anywhere. So you would have to get them added manually. Yeah, okay, so let's see here. Sean, I don't know how many MLSs are in the country, but we don't connect to, I think we have one MLS deal. We connect to ListHub, which is connected to many MLSs. For auto posting, Charlene, auto posting. Yeah. So cost for it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the auto posting is free. Okay, just so we know that, like when we auto post, if you connect your social media, this is just part of the service. If you want to run an ad, and frankly, I do think you want to run an ad, especially if you have a new listing, you want to run ads. And so there is a cost. Every time I click a button and I choose any property, if it's for sale, we're going to do a $35 ad. If it's a special property, change the budget to $100 and have more people see it, right? But that does have a cost for that. Is there a website displaying all of your listings? Yes, there is. I don't talk about it much. There are ad charges by Facebook. As we're looking right here, Kathy, when I click publish, you notice a $50 sign. That $50 will be charged against your credit card on Facebook. And yes, as you can see, I can change that number from 50 to 60 or wherever. If you go too low, it can't be less than $5 a day, so you can edit that. Let's see. Oh, let's find that. Let's go to listings. And I can't remember where. Other tools on listings. There is a client review website, listing widgets. Oh, this is the agent listing website right here. Now, it's kind of wonky, but if I click view, I can see it. So all my listings are right here on this one page. And all of my Zillow reviews are on the far right. And all of my favorite hyperlinks, and you can click here and you can join me on my social media. That's all on one site, okay? It's called the agent listing website, and you click the eyeball here under other tools on the listings page. That's how you get there. Yeah. Leah, so you're saying if I use a listing from eXp Realty to market nearby homeowner, their listings, yes, Leah, yeah. If you borrow a listing, it's going to look like your listing. What is the alternate phone for SML leads used for? Yeah, that's a weird one. It's to send text to. So if you put an alternate phone down here, we will send text, we'll send the leads to your text. But let's see here, actually. If this number is added, then lead will only be sent to this number. Yeah. So that means we're just going to send the leads to that number, right? Which is a little weird. think, I don't know why you would do that, but because we're going to send the leads to your email, and most of you have your email running into your phone anyway. So I would probably just leave it that way. But that's what it is, yeah. Let's see if Leah, did that answer your question about borrowing the nearby, the listing and then the nearby homeowner letter looks like yours? Okay, good. Okay. Let's see here. And Kathy says, will my new active listings show up? It should. If they don't show up, go to support and say, hey, I've got an active listing. But we sweep a couple of times a day. Yeah, we sweep. I might actually be in it every hour. So your new listings should come up. This recording will be in the Mastermind Group. So I want to kind of mention that. This is the Mastermind Group. You got to use this as list, you got to ask support to get in. But I would definitely look at, scroll through, and what's this one here? Look for the recorded webinar one. So this is a recorded webinar. And you're going to see that every time I do a call like this, we record it and we put it right up in here. And if you're a new client, or even if you're kind of like a long-term client, you haven't been here for a while, I would look at the stuff that we've been doing this year, because we pushed a lot of new content from December and January, and we're going to continue, but you're going to want to know like what's new and what's going on. We've kind of looked at it and touched on it today, but you see here, like here's the top tools to get new listings, right? So that was on February 14th. So we'll be doing that. That's what today is. So the sold listing is where, and is that the one that will cost 50? No, so a sold listing, let's kind of like go slowly on so somebody asked, like, your sold listings are not showing up, right? And if you, depending on when you signed up, if it was active when you signed up, well, we would then sweep it in, right? But if it's sold, we can't see it, so we can't sweep it in. So then you could go up here and say, I want to manually add it. We're not like the MLS. We just have a couple of data points you need to fill out and put in a photo. And then you can run sold ads. And you could even run, you'll then have the nearby homeowner letter on that, right? So if it's sold, that's what it will do. And I definitely recommend, even if you sold something a month or two ago, like running a sold ad and getting a nearby homeowner letter out is still super smart. It's a top way of getting listing leads. So, but you might have to manually add it. That's kind of the, that's really the question there. Once you see one, then you can run an ad. Yeah, once you see it on this list here, then you can run an ad on it. So if I manually added a sold listing, and then I went over here to ads, clicking on it now, that when you click create an ad, that listing is going to be here. And as soon as you do this and you run it as sold, the call to actions are always about, hey, get your free home back. That affected your home back. So that's what I would do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Glad you guys understand that. Okay. Are there any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. But we definitely, had a lot in here. So if you have other questions, please feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to say thanks so much for joining me. This recording will be in there. Is there a way to do so listings to market? Yes, yes. So you see this radius? This little arrow on the right means this is a drop down, and you can expand the radius. I think that's the answer to your question, Leah. The minimum, the tightest you can make that radius is 15 miles. And that's a minimum that cannot be changed. That's one of the reasons what is your home worth ads don't work very well, right? Because you can't target a particular area. And if you can't really target a real area, people don't respond very well. So you get weak leads. Okay, well, everybody, thanks so much. Thanks for the questions. And this recording will be up in the Mastermind group later today. Keep safe out there. And these tools that we've talked about, they are working right now in today's market. All the COVID, all the short inventory, all that. This is still, these things are still working. So don't forget, get in the support page and ask them to get you in the Mastermind group. Yeah, you're welcome, Sean. Or I think you have a different name, Demi, maybe. But take care, everybody. Let us know how we can help you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.